Senator Cardozo.
Thank you, Your Honour. My question is for the government representative and is concerning the wildfires. I want to compliment the federal and provincial governments for responding to the needs of Canadians facing the tragic consequences of wildfires in many parts of the country. This is the time when governments have to step up to the plate and literally throw all the resources possible to help Canadians. And if it means considerable deficit spending, I hope we are all in agreement that this is essential. Senator, could you share with us the services that are being provided, whether through Emergency Preparedness Canada, the Canadian Armed Forces, or elsewhere, and is there any sense of how much the federal government is prepared to spend over the course of the summer on this likely continuing tragedy?
Senator Gold.
Well, thank you for your question. I think it is fair to say that what we're witnessing now is something that we are going to be confronted with increasingly due to climate change. The government is in close contact with all affected provinces and territories, has deployed Canadian Armed Forces and other federal supports to Quebec, Nova Scotia, and Alberta at the request of those provinces. Senator, it's too early to say what the final costs might be because focus right now is in assisting. There are 400 plus wildfires, of which I think over 200 are still not under control. But we know that the damage in many communities has been very, very significant. For example, as fires get under control in the area around Halifax, where my family living with whom I'm in contact, it has become safe to re-enter communities, but we're seeing the devastating images there and elsewhere of what has happened with homes burnt and areas ravaged. When the cost to respond and recover from a disaster exceeds provincial or territorial capacity, as colleagues should know, the government provides fair and equitable assistance through the disaster financial assistance arrangements, which has provided over the years almost $8 billion in support to provinces and territories. The government can cover up to 90% of eligible costs, but provinces and territories, as we know, are in full control of the design and delivery of these recovery plans. Provinces and territories may request advance payments or interim payments to address early requirements of recovery and the need to rebuild, and additional allocations for projects that include those enhancements to mitigate the impacts of such disasters in the future.
Senator Cardozo, supplémentaire.
Thank you, Your Honour. I will just want to press you a little further on the matter of climate change that you mentioned, Senator. What is the government doing to address these fires from a longer-term perspective, the environmental perspective, given that this could go on all summer, or maybe the norm every summer or even every spring, summer, and fall? How much more do we need to be doing about the environment and climate change?
Gold.
It's a very large question. I'll answer very briefly. I mean, the government has made it clear from its ever since it ran for office, and was elected in 2015, that addressing climate change is a serious priority of this government, as it should be for the country as a whole. It's put into place a panoply of measures, all designed to work towards reducing climate change, helping create a more resilient infrastructure and economy, and help us transition away from a carbon-reliant power grid and other measures so that our economy can continue to grow, but we can mitigate and ultimately, we hope, reverse the impact of climate change.